What's happening? What's going on? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405 where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. Man, back for another My Thoughts. I see right now already I got some scandalous business in the chat from Sekiro saying that I was ducking him with Gatto, I guess talking about Fatal Fury. I didn't even mention Fatal Fury last week. I said Sparking Zero, Killer Instinct, and whatever else that may come out. But I was wanting to play Sparking Zero, wanting to play some Killer Instinct. Just didn't have it in me. I had an event that I went to, a picnic, a church picnic. Now I know that some people are like, what? Yeah, but it was a church picnic, and went out there Saturday, and I streamed Friday night, pretty late. Streamed some Battlefield and some COD. And so then just went out there, did a picnic, and then these old guys, these old Vietnam vets, man, they wanted me to play cornhole. And so I played out there, man. I had to put some hands on them. You know what I'm saying? I sit there and I lost at the end to one of the vets, but I was pissing a couple of them off because I was, I ain't played cornhole in I don't know how long. And if anybody never heard of cornhole, it's you got like these bean bags, and you slide them, and usually there's these boards with a hole in it, and you stand from a distance and you try to slide it in or try to throw it absolutely in. Anyway, I played a couple of hours of that, and my back was cooked when I got home. And so, there was no streaming, and I thought I could do it. I thought I could do some Fight Night Sunday. Nope, didn't have it in me. So it did have to recover. So yeah, that's the reason why I didn't have Fight Night, but it is what it is. It happens sometimes, but I'm gonna see if I'm gonna try to stream tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But ain't nobody ducking nothing, sucker. And nobody's ducking anything. I'm over here trying to. I was over there. But Sparking Zero because I haven't played it in forever. So I'm trying to show some more of these different fighters that I have instead of just the same cycle of the same fighters that I've been playing here lately. So anyway, we'll get to that probably Thursday. We'll probably play some more Fatal Fury, but I want to play some Sparking Zero, and then maybe play some In Night Birth. I know that they added a new character, another couple of characters that I haven't got a chance to play with or test, or Grand Blue. The Grand Blue Relink is the RPG, the fighting game, Grand Blue Versus. So anyway, I don't know, something different to show different fighters or whatever. But anyway, all right, let's get to my thoughts, man. Get to what I'm thinking, what I want, my thoughts on some things. First off, let's talk about Battlefield 6. My initial thoughts of the beta. As you can see, if for the people that came through the stream, appreciate y'all coming through. Like I always say, like, people could talk about games all they want to, but man, really the proof is in the pudding when you show the gameplay. And so that's the thing right there. So people can get an idea of, what they may see that seems like flaws or seems like that they're, the issues that they might like or dislike or whatever about the game. But for me, I thought the beta was good. I thought the beta was entertaining. I had a good time with it. I got to maxed out at like level 15. When I initially said I was a level 14, but I was actually a level 12, but then I got to level 15. And then I was going to plan to see if it was available Monday, but it wasn't. So, cause I started playing some Madden, cause I've been saying that I'm going to stream some sports games. Haven't done that yet. So, trying to get a feel on Madden and on college football online, stuff like that. Even got back to playing some the First Descent. Because of the season 3 content. It's been a minute since I played it, so I'm kind of like, gotta get back familiar with it or whatever, but it's still a really pretty game. Just kind of jumping all around, playing all different types of stuff for the last week. But anyway, my thoughts about Battlefield 6. Like I said, it's good. I was surprised that I didn't see any levolution. And if people don't know what the levolution thing is, it's where the environments change from like these crazy weather effects that they have in the game. They've been added in every Battlefield since I think Battlefield 3. Well, actually, take that back to Battlefield 2042. They started having those weather effects also in the game. I mean, you could probably even go back to Bad Company. I mean, they've been had these weather effects, but what really kicked it off was Battlefield 4. Like, it was just so crazy. It was so insane what the revolution was in Battlefield 4. Like, it was fantastic, and it was really dumbed down in Battlefield 2042. So it was kind of surprising that I didn't see it. Hopefully that it's just maybe just the levels that they were showing, that maybe they didn't want to put any revolution in there, and maybe the other maps that they might have it, or they might implement it later because they want to get the game to be well together and placed together for what they're trying to present. Because like I said, EA is fighting for this franchise life right now. Because a lot of people did not have a lot of confidence in it, but a lot of people enjoyed it. From my understanding with it, it did really well on Steam. I'm sure that it broke record numbers for people trying it out. Now, some people were getting out of hand with it and trying to compare it to Call of Duty. Big difference when you got a free beta compared to an actual game that people have paid for. It would be astounding if they would if the Battlefield achieve those same type of numbers once the game comes out on the October 10th. But again, it still isn't the 1 million players that the CEO was over here talking about, concurrent players that he's thinking that they're going to get. Even when it was free, it still broke records, but it still wasn't at a level of where they were where they were looking to get the expectation of a million players. That was pretty crazy and far fetched in my opinion. But other than that, like, no, it is, Battlefield is needed, and it's what I've said before. It's like these games can coexist together. There's no reason for them to not, for gamers to not, to just pick one or the other. I mean, the way that these games are played, the way that their styles are completely different. So you can enjoy a more I would say realistic vibe with Battlefield compared to what Call of Duty is, but Call of Duty is more fast paced, more action oriented, and there's nothing that beats, in my opinion. I may be close to, if Halo plays right, the feel of a shooter. Call of Duty is just light years better than any other shooter except for Halo, in my opinion. If Halo plays correctly, Halo is probably one of the best feeling games, shooters out there. Of course, I know that there'll be some people that'll disagree with me on that, but I mean, I don't know. For me, playing all different types of shooters, even for the games that I'm not even fans of, battle royale stuff like that, like Fortnite feels great, but when Halo is right, Halo is right, and Call of Duty is got that control balance that just feels incredible as well. So those two games feel really, really good, in my opinion. But Battlefield, like in its own right, like this Battlefield played fine in the sense of the controls. It was a little bit faster than what I was expecting, but yeah, no. Listen, the cons of the game is it does not outweigh the pros, in my opinion. I think, like I said, I enjoyed the beta. I think that there's work to be done. Seemed like there was some like desync issues. The shotgun is definitely OP. Sniper rifle is very. It's not consistent. Like you can hit somebody in the neck area or upper in the, I've even shot people in the head. There was one time that I shot a guy, I just hip shot him, and close up, boom. You would think with that caliber of a bullet, that's going to drop anything, especially with a few feet in front of you. Nope, just a hit marker, and then that's it. Like it is pretty wild with the sniper rifle. But it feels very satisfying. What's going on with you, Francis? Francosis. I said Francis. Francosis. What's up with you, Stanley? I think, like I said, it's more the thing to me. If they can get more consistent with some of the hit markers, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. It's not like I said. It seems like sometimes when you was shooting some people, it was like almost like you was uh, shooting tanks. So you're armored soldiers that were robots because they was taking a lot of slugs. There was sometimes I emptied a clip on a couple of players, but on a couple of opponents. But regardless of that, like I said, they fixed that. It's going to be absolutely fine. There was times that, like I said, the inconsistency on the shots, like you'll see it like through the gameplay. Like you see somebody could get like the normal amount of bullets, and then there'll be another time where somebody else is getting a whole clip. And then there'll be other times that that may be because those players were already injured, that you just one shot them and they're good and they're gone. I don't know. They was just very inconsistent on that front. The level design, I didn't have a problem with. I know a lot of people had a problem with this particular level that you're seeing right here. And I don't think that was anything. I mean, listen, this is a perfect sniper's level. And listen, it's cool. I mean, I think every level should have some kind of benefit for certain weapons in this area right here. Like, listen, man, you're a sniper. This is a dream, and you just gotta watch your surroundings. I mean, you'll see snipers everywhere around on this level, but I didn't have a problem with it. You just got to watch your surroundings, and yeah, there'll be times that you'll spawn and you get popped, but I'd also seen some people that were saying that like they just didn't vibe with the game because again, when you're playing something like Call of Duty or you're playing something more fast paced, it will get you into a position to where like if you spawn behind another player or there's players that's sitting there waiting to see you spawn and they drop you, it could get frustrating. But no, I thought the explosions, the destruction was good. Game looked great. So for the beta, I don't know how much better it's going to look when the finished product is coming out. But like I said, I enjoyed the game. It caught my interest enough to keep playing. I'm still on the fence on buying it day one, but like I said, once I start seeing that people come out and say the game is running proper, the game is awesome right from the gate, then I will get it. It may be a day one after release, but it ain't going to be a pre-order like I did with Battlefield 2042. So we'll see about that. But I'm definitely going to get the game. There's no question about it. I mean, I don't think I've skipped out on a Battlefield since 2042, or even before that. Like I said, the only two Battlefields that I know that I did not get was the Battlefields from that was on the PC, Battlefield 1 and 2. So I didn't even know that game existed at that time. So, but yeah, I mean, at that time I was playing Medal of Honor on console. So I've always supported Battlefield. I've always supported Call of Duty. I wish there was more Titanfalls, but it is what it is. We'll see what EA does with that. So anyway, but yeah, that's my thing about Battlefield. Not too much. I like I said, I enjoyed what I played. I don't want, I know that when I was posting something, Lemon was thinking that it was and now, like I said, that's great for him. There was still more work to be done, in my opinion. I know there was people that was complaining about the tanks, but I mean, they're tanks. They're going to be difficult to deal with. And then like when you're playing against somebody that knows how to fly the jet or the helicopter, they rain hell. You know what I mean? So that's the beautiful thing about it. It's that like, listen, you got to deal with all different types of elements within Battlefield, and sometimes it can be easy, sometimes it isn't. So you can get cooked or you could do the cooking. That's the great thing about Battlefield, because to me, I think only the real greats can be consistent, but the majority of people, you're going to have bad games, you're going to have good games. And I think that when you're seeing some of these people that were out here doing, and I know they have a different kind of like when you turn around real fast, there was a button that you could use to turn around, but then there was a lot of people pointing out about like a lot of cheaters, and I did run into a lot of cheaters. So hopefully this whole thing that they were bragging about, to nullify cheaters, it didn't do that great of a deal. But it is what it is. So I'm not, like I said, it's to be expected. I don't really take video games to that degree. I'm not here. I'm not trying to be an evil player. I'm just trying to have a good experience. And it doesn't matter what you play. If you play in anything online competitive, um, there's going to be cheaters. I never, I don't understand it. In my opinion, I think it's really, I mean, it just shows that, there's just people that out there that just feel like cheating is the best way for them to feel gratified or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but hey, it is what it is. But every game that you play that's online competitive, from fighters to shooters, hell to even racers, there's cheaters everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter. So they find a way to try to cheat and try to do things. So it's what it is. But yeah, Battlefield, just wanted to touch on that. I'm excited about it. So and I hope it does well. I think it will do well. Just launch the game properly and give me some Levolution. All right, let's move on. I want to, before I get into the main topic, which is going to be about, it's about PlayStation. I know I've been talking about PlayStation a lot lately, especially with the multi-plat situation, but I want to touch on games like Black Myth Wukong, games that have these second party tier deals that's worked with Sony, and then they haven't come to Xbox until a lot later. It's kind of like with the Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. I mean, I don't think, there was one moment I thought that we were going to get Forspoken, but I don't think Forspoken is going to come to Xbox now. Unfortunately, it's really a good game. But this thing with Black Myth Wukong, right? Like, it was my game of the year last year. Love that game. It should have. Oh yes, Stanley. There's cheaters everywhere. There's cheaters in Madden. There's cheaters in NBA 2K, like sports games, racing games. There's cheaters everywhere. Like my I was just on the phone with my homeboy earlier, and he plays a lot of ESO. And of course, we was just talking about the cheaters on there. He was asking me about COD because he was thinking about downloading COD, because he's been seeing me play a lot of Call of Duty here lately. And he wanted to know about Battlefield as well. And I told him, Battlefield seems like it's going to be really good. But anyway, so we was just going to talk about that. And he was just talking about ESO and how crazy it is about all the cheating, the lag switching, the just all those these weird elements of what people do just to want to get the advantage. It's insane. It's gross. So anyway, but this situation here with Black Myth Wukong, it's about to come out here in about a week or so. I think it's the 19th it's going to drop. It's good the 19th, or like it's somewhere here in the next week or two. And like I said, it was my game of the year last year. Fascinating game, way better than I anticipated. I was hoping that it wasn't a Souls-like game, and it's not. But it's not easy. It has that Ninja Gaiden vibe to it, especially of difficulty. You will get your ass handed to you more than a few times, but the game is fascinating. You just keep grinding on it, and it just becomes incredibly just insane. And like I said, I started a second playthrough. I'm probably going to restart the second playthrough again, so people can get to see what it is. Because when you go do the second playthrough, you keep all the stuff that you've accumulated from your first playthrough, which makes you even more badass. So so at the end of the game is a lot easier to deal with, and it's fun. And I mean, I'm pretty sure once I get to the levels of where it's more challenging, that there'll be, it's going to some bosses that's going to be a little bit more challenging than they were in the first one. But in the first run through, where they were awfully challenging. But I've seen people that's beat the game 4 or 5 times. I think you can, if you beat it, like if you go through it like 5 times, you get all these major tiers that just kind of make you pretty much invincible, which I don't know if I'll do that, but you know what? I enjoy that game enough to do a second playthrough. And I normally don't do a second playthrough on a lot of single player games. I got to love it to do that. Like The Witcher 3, of course. I'm going to do another playthrough of Cyberpunk. Because I have not played the DLC. I haven't even booted it up. And that wasn't like me as much as people knew how much I loved Cyberpunk. So but like, yeah, Mass Effects, just certain games I will go back and I'll have second playthroughs because they're just really fascinating games. But Black Myth is that game for me. It is fantastic, and I do want Xbox gamers to buy it. I want them to support it, but I do also understand why there are some Xbox gamers that say, "Nah, the developers lied to us." Basically, they took the deal from Sony, and Sony made sure that they kept that game away from Xbox um, for their purposes and for their gain. And it sucks, but we can't keep lying. We can't keep letting developers keep lying to us and saying that it's the Series S. It's not. It's not. Now the whole situation with I forgot what the terminology is called, with the stuff that was going on with the coding with Marvel vs. Capcom collection and those collection games from Capcom. That was legitimate, right? Like that was Microsoft's fault for sure. But this whole thing about the architecture between the Series S, yeah, it don't make any sense. Like, of course, there will be people that will say, well, I've seen somebody post something of like, well, um, there was this thing that would say that Xbox Series S and Series X are just identical, and they're not to a certain extent. That's because of the RAM or whatever, the lack of RAM, and so that could be a challenging thing for devs or whatever. And the thing to me is like, look, I'm not going to trip about a delay, like the delay of Baldur's Gate 3. That's a little bit more understanding than what we're talking about with Black Myth Wukong, or what happened with Stellar Blade, which I feel Stellar Blade will eventually come. I think that game will get a pass. I've said that before, but I don't think but I want Black Myth to do well, but I just don't think it will. Because again, Xbox gamers they're speaking out on this. They're tired of it. Like there's too many excuses. If the game couldn't be done on the Series S, then why is the game coming to Series S? And there will be people that will say, Xbox makes these weird policies, and I get it, but regardless of the fact is that the game is capable enough, and case in point, there were people playing it on lesser hardware on their PC than what the Series S is. So it never makes sense to me when you hear that excuse. I mean, there was another Souls-like AA game, or maybe even indie game. Forget what it started with an E and Enthrall, something, whatever. I can't remember what the name of the game was, but that game skipped out on the Xbox there for a little bit, and then now it is on Xbox, but nobody talks about it because gamers are tired of it. And like I said, I get it. I do get it. I do get it. But I don't want Xbox gamers to skip out on great content. So I'm kind of I'm in defense mode of Black Myth, but I'm also understanding it. Like I'm just kind of in flux about it. Like I'm not going to be mad at any Xbox gamers that's looking at the situation and saying, look, we've been waiting. We was anticipating that game. That game looked fantastic. That game was slated to come out at the same time it was supposed to be coming out on PlayStation, and then all of a sudden here comes the wool over our eyes with this whole, like, the Series S is the problem, and then come to find out that it wasn't Series S that had the problem because you had a deal with Sony, and then you lied to us. So I totally understand it. I get it. And yeah, no, I'm not a fan of it at all either. So, what can you do? What can you do is just, I'm not going to sit there and tell gamers not to stand on business, because in all actuality, these developers need to show support to all the gamers, not just one that gives them the bag to say, hey, keep this off of here. We're going into a whole different era of gaming now. And when you look and see all these other games that's on the same wavelength of what Black Myth is, or the crazy ass depth of Baldur's Gate 3. If that game could be on the Series S, then I don't want to hear any other type of garbage about that game can't be played on a Series S, or the game is going to be delayed for damn near a year and a half because of it. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's really, really crazy. So, Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. So, yeah, there's just too many games out there that the Series S has been able to play, like Hellblade 2. That game is a marvel. You're telling me that come on, man, stop it. That an indie game can't be played. Come on now. Listen. I understand time and all that other stuff, but if you're trying to get your game out there, trying to get it sold, and trying to get get a huge audience, then you got to get the game out. Like I said, I'm not tripping about a delay, but if it's a major delay like this long, then yeah, it does give a sour taste in your mouth. Well, we kind of had that understanding with the Final Fantasy games. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Xbox gamers are going to do. They're excited about Final Fantasy Remake. Final Fantasy 16 didn't do, I guess, that well or did enough. I don't know. I don't really care on that aspect. I just know that Xbox gamers are just tired of it. They're tired of those delays. Like, listen, stand on business and bring the games out at the same time, or if you don't, then you're going to lose out on sales. Because I also got to think about this as well. Like, if gamers really wanted that game that bad, they would already have got it, because most Xbox gamers have multiple consoles or multiple platforms to play on. They either have a PC or they have a PlayStation or they have a Nintendo or whatever. And if those games come on those platforms, and that's another thing too, if these games are dropping, well, Black Myth is not on Nintendo, but nigga says I play on Xbox. I don't play single player games. I don't know. That part's on you, brother. I play everything. I play damn near everything. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say that I play Pendament, but I play all different types of games. I mean, I would give Pendament a chance if I didn't have a huge backlog, but Pendament is one of those games that I just kind of don't see myself being interested in to play. But I play a lot of different type of genre of games. But I can't see myself I'm just playing one genre of game, when I have a console that has all types of variety. That's just me. If you just want to play online games, that's fine. I mean, if there's people that only just play single player games on PlayStation, I think that's crazy when there's a whole bunch of online games to play. So I don't know. I just like the variety of just so much, because there's so much potential in a lot of these games that's out there, that if the console is providing all these options, why not take advantage of some of it? He's like, I play on PC. When I play single player games, my Xbox connected to the TV for online shooters and multiplayer games. Well, I mean, that's cool too. I mean, like I've found myself playing a lot of my single player games on PC as well through the Xbox app. But I always go back and play the single player games. I kind of jump back and forth, because of the play anywhere aspect of it. And then I also want to see how that game plays and runs. Now, for games like, let's say, like Tales of Arise or Metaphor, I play those on Xbox, because because graphically you're not going to get anything crazily, I'm not going to utilize what my PC can run. I mean, I could probably I could definitely push it up for more frames per second, but graphically, no. Like, I mean, if I'm going to play like a game like Hellblade or a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows or something like that, I'm going to see what it looks like on Xbox. And if I'm having a great experience, which 9 times out of 10 I am, but if I'm going to have a better experience on my PC, that's the reason why I got my PC, then I'm going to play my single player games there. Now, but for what you're saying about multiplayer and all that, yeah, I play mostly on Xbox. I have some games that I got a lot of fighters on my PC, but some of those games run like mud, or those games those lobbies are dead on PC. So, and you'll find some people that's playing some of those games. That's why I say cross-play is so important for fighters and racers and things like that, because those lobbies are dead. I mean, you can go on PlayStation and there'll be some fighters that those lobbies are just absolutely just gone. They're just awful. You don't get nobody's there. So that's why I say cross-play is very important. But yeah, no, I play my Maddens and in my NBA 2Ks. I play all those games on my Xbox. I want to see what they look like on PC, but you know, I've had moments, especially the seeing playing Madden for the last couple of years, seeing what it plays like on PC looks great, but it doesn't seem to uh, play as fluent as what it does on console. So yeah, now I get that aspect of it, but I do still play my single player games on there. It's got to be one of those show pieces though that I will play. I will see what it looks like on Xbox, but I will, and I'll play it there for a little while, but then I'll take it on the PC, and then because I want to maximize the visuals and the experience over there on PC. You said I played Skyrim on PC and Battlefield and Madden on Xbox. My Xbox is strictly for easy gaming. Come on, man. Yeah, man. You playing them online games that they don't have to be. They ain't always easy. Trust that. He said the easy games. He said PCs for modding my single player games. I could never play Skyrim on Xbox. It's not the same. No, it isn't the same. Now I remember that they were saying that they went and they did implement quite a few of those mods on Skyrim, but like for instance, like that I forgot what it's called. I downloaded and I showed some gameplay of it. I got to see if I got to go look through my gameplay and see if I still have that gameplay of that. They redid the whole game of Skyrim. And I still have that. The files are just insanely huge. Like we're talking about 400 gigs in order for you to play that extra rendered Skyrim mod. It's insane. It looks incredible, plays incredible, but it takes a lot of space. So I've thought about getting another regular hard drive, kind of an old school hard drive, and I'll put it there. Was it Novus? Novus? No, it's Norvis. I think it's Norvis. It's called Norvis. Let me look it up. I'm over here, right here. I'm right here next to my computer, so I might as well look it up. Let's see. Go in here and checking my files. Where you at? 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 No, come on. Where you at? Oh, here it is. It's called. If anybody is interested, it's called Norvis Novus Ascension. So because I had to name it because I was trying to label it for whatever. So, but it's Novus. It's a site you can find it on trusted mod sites. That's where I found it at. Well, and they have their own site. So it's Norvus, and it's the Skyrim. It's insane. It's amazing. But like I said, that file is massive. It took hours for that bad boy to download, and I have fantastic speeds. So like it took hours to download. I had some hitches there. So there was a couple of files that I had to go look for individually to make it all work. But once I found those files, I had to go do a lot of Reddit searching and all that different stuff. But because some of those other files were old and they were outdated, and then some of those files when it was rendering, and one thing you do have to have, the Skyrim, the special edition, and in order for this Novus Ascension mod to work, you have to have the special edition of Skyrim. It just won't work off the regular Skyrim, or you have to have that special edition, ultimate edition, or whatever. And it's and Skyrim is very affordable now, so you can find it for a good price. But yeah, you need to do that. But like I said, be prepared. That file is anywhere from 280 to almost 400 gigs to download. So make sure you got a lot of space if you're really into it. And like I said, it overhauls everything graphically, looks fantastic. Plus you can add all the other mods that it has, and it's nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts. But you're right. It's not the same. It's just not the same when you're talking about games like that. Like for instance, Starfield. I've played put plenty of hours on console, on Xbox, and on PC. And the experience is better for me on my PC. But again, like Play Anywhere, that's why I love Play Anywhere. Play Anywhere is perfect. I love it because I can play those games that could be a showpiece. Because listen, the Xbox is not a slouch. The Series X is not a slouch whatsoever. But there's just some games like Hellblade. It's not a contest. Even though they added the 60 frames per second patch, I know there's people that I didn't really care about the 60, the 30, or the 60 because when I beat it within that first week when I got it. But when I got Hellblade 2. But like I played it on the console, it looked fantastic. But I went through my second playthrough and played it on the PC, and man, yeah, it just wasn't the same. So yeah, it's like I said, but going back to repeating myself again, it's those games that Metaphor, Persona 5, games that has that graphically is not going to it's not going to be that off or that extreme compared to like a maybe Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 16 or a Final Fantasy Integrate, stuff like that, like games that Forspoken, Doom. Doom. I will say Doom. When Doom Dark Ages came out, and I played it on the PC first, and then I went back and I played it on the Xbox, there wasn't that much of a difference graphically. I don't know if that was done intentionally or what, but it didn't look that far off. I mean, and that's just a testament to how good the studio is, and how much of a powerhouse the Series X is. I mean, it looked great. So anyway, my whole thing about this is though, and I am intrigued about what Black Myth Wukong is going to play like on the Xbox. I know it's going to play okay, but playing Black Myth Wukong on PC, bro, it was an experience. So I am looking forward to seeing that. Nigga said I'll be playing State of Decay 3 on my PC. I don't want to push my Xbox for every game. It's my baby. It's my day one console. Now I feel you on that. Now State of Decay 3, that's up in the air. Now South of Midnight, I played that on my Xbox. Looks great. Showed that gameplay of that. I got the whole playthrough of me playing that on the channel on my YouTube channel. If anybody wants to see it, also have gameplay showing Indiana Jones. I played that on Xbox and on PC. Like I said, I always mix and match just to look at it. The one big difference that I will say out of the games that I played, Hellblade 2 was a massive difference to me. Once I cranked up all the settings on my PC, and Redfall did not play well on the Xbox. So I played it first on PC, and it played fine on PC. It played fine, and I mean there was some issues here and there, but then once they patched it, it played better on Xbox. But it still was lacking. Those two games to me were the most likely, because even Starfield, I mean, graphically it's not the same on that level. But if you have a really good television, or if you got it installed on a really good monitor, you're still going to get some great effects of the Series X. So again, it's just what you tolerate and what you play. But I am intrigued to see how Black Myth will play. And I don't know if Black Myth is a Play Anywhere title. I didn't even check to see. I mean, I'm not going to rebuy the game, but I mean, because and I was over here thinking about maybe trying to, but I already have Helldivers 2, and that game is going to be that's a cross-play game. So, I mean, so there's no need for me to I'll just start playing it more often so I can enjoy it. So I can enjoy it with the Xbox gamers out there. And I did see that there's a crossover with Halo in there, which is dope. I think that that's real dope. I'm a big fan of crossover stuff. So the more crossover things, the better. I love it in fighters. I love it. I thought that it was dope to see the Halo ODST skins on Gears 5. I thought that that was really, really dope. I know there were some people that had a problem with it. I don't. I think that's really cool if it matches. Now we're kind of bleeding into some people complaining about what's going on with Call of Duty with all these weird different type of skins. But as I said, if people are going to buy them, if people are going to pay for them, then they're going to pay for them. So it's just what it is. Like, I mean, you play Call of Duty, you do see Beavis and Butthead, you see a Ninja Turtle, you see these people. I'm not buying Beavis and Butthead or the Ninja Turtles. Or now I did try to get the American Dad thing because that was a side thing. I did get a couple of those cartoon characters, but I mean, will I play with them? No. Now I'll sometimes play my characters random, my operators random. So that'd be the only way. But me just picking one of those cartoon characters, no. Now they had a whole Toon World. I don't know if they still have the Toon World in there or not, but that's appropriate. I don't see a reason for that. Like, you could just play with any of your Toon characters that you have or whatever. So I don't know. I just think some people are just taking it way too far with complaining, bitching, trying to get mad about something, which if you're not forced to have it, then I don't see what's the reason to complaining for. I really don't. I don't see any reason of complaining if you're not forced to have it. You know what I mean? So if if somebody says, well, I'm forced to see it, you're forced to see a lot of things in multiplayer games. So it's not that big of a deal. If I'm not forced to have it or pay for it, then I don't care. So yeah, so I just think that State of Decay 3 will be great. Also hearing some news that and I don't think this was a secret at all, Contraband being canceled. We haven't heard anything from it since we seen the trailer. Haven't heard anything from it. So, and that's something that I've said too before. It's like, why would we even be tripping about a game that we haven't seen? Perfect Dark was a little bit different because they talked about it numerous times. We've seen some gameplay, things like that. But Contraband, we only seen a trailer. That's it. And like for instance, Ex Machina. I thought that was gone. Well, Ex Machina is slated to come out early next year. They just probably went through development hell, and now they got it all together and they're ready to drop the game. So there's too many games out there now for anybody, I think, to really complain about. Now, again, I'm not trying to say that it doesn't make you feel bad, especially if you're anticipating a game. And it also goes back to when it was a big deal about when they were showing games and then you didn't get those games until 5 or 6, 7 years later. And then I remember when Phil and them was bringing up the point of saying like, well, we want to show a game and this game is going to come in another year or so or whatever. And then, the pandemic happened and then we got all these crazy elements happening. And now these companies are saying, look, we're not going to keep continuing to pour money into these games, especially if these developers are not making progress. So and hopefully we'll get to a place to where we don't have to keep seeing trailers for games and then have to wait 5 or 6 years down the line. I never really was a fan of that myself. I mean, the hype of it is cool, but now there's so much uncertainty. You just don't know now. So like if I see a trailer to something that looks cool, and I'm just going to be like, hey, that looked cool, but I need to wait and see. So hopefully they'll get back to wanting to show the games that are going to be coming out within the next 2 years, instead of something that we got to wait 4 or 5, 6 years from. Like, I mean, when are we there was, and again, there's all these speculations, right? Like, well, are we going to lose I mean, is Xbox going to still make OD? Is Kojima still working on that game? Then you had those rumors when Xbox was doing all these cancellations. Well, OD was going to get canceled. Well, now that's been confirmed that that Kojima's still working on OD. Vice versa, vice versa. Just so many games. Like I don't know. I don't care. Like if the game is not out, then I can't trip about it. If the game comes out and do a Concord, then that's a real major problem. I understand that there's advertising, but development things are really weird. So I don't know. I don't know. So I mean, we've seen so many trailers from these game companies, and there's games that we were anticipating and excited for, and then people didn't buy them. that all over the place. So anyway, it just is what it is. But let's move on. Let's go ahead and just this most likely going to probably be a pretty quick. My thoughts. I'm going to get to the meat and potatoes, talking about this whole multiplayer thing. I did see that the PlayStation had a little conference. It looked almost, it wasn't identical, but it had a lot of similarities. Hey, what happened? Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Sorry about that. Heard a big crash, and my son is here visiting. And I heard a crash, and I was like, "What the hell was that?" Like, yo, like, man, you tearing something up? Sorry about it. I was like, hey, hey. I had to check that out. Anyway, all right. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I had to check that out and see what the hell that was. Um, anyway, about the whole PlayStation thing. Listen, they had this whole thing with the kind of like, where they had the Xbox staff doing this whole like whatever the hell it's called, whatever. But PlayStation pretty much did the same thing. The writing's on the wall, people. It's over. It's over. I will commend some PlayStation people out there that are understanding what's in front of them, what's about to happen. It's inevitable. It's happening. It's not the era of the exclusives are done. We are Nintendo is going to be the only one that's going to hold that mantle until they decide not to want to do it themselves either. And what's going on with you, Verge? I don't get, like, I mean, you got all these Reddit places that are going crazy. Like, I mean, these PlayStation eccentric sites, like they're losing their minds. It's delicious. I like it, but it's also sad because, and what I mean by being sad is that it was all good for the competition to do these things. These guys really thought that PlayStation was going to continue to do the same traditional stuff when PlayStation has moved and pivoted so many times within the last 10 years. I don't understand why they're not seeing the writing on the wall for them. Sales, they're real quick to talk about the sales numbers and what's revenue and what's profit and what's this and that and the console sales. But what at the end of the day is the most important is the software sales. That's what pushes things. And so they'll show all these numbers and it's great and it's wonderful. And they keep believing that, well, because they're making these good numbers, that Sony is not going to want more money. Because every time you look around, it's like, well, Sony's canceling this, Sony's canceling that. Like they spent so much money on products that on development for these ideas, and you don't mean to tell me that they're not hurting a little bit? I mean, if Xbox sit there and do all these their pockets is hurting too. Well, not hurting, but they're feeling it. That's the reason why they had to cut bait on certain things. These companies are really looking to find ways to save more money than they are just throwing things out. And like I said, like it's unfortunate. I hate about the people losing their jobs, and especially definitely it looks like for over the AI stuff. But Sony's not going to not allow themselves to not make more money. They're not going to just leave money on the table. I've said that 10 years ago. I said that like in 2015, 2016, 9, 10 years ago. And it holds true. They're just not going to do it. And so this weird mindset from some of these content creators out there that thinks that, well, Sony is still, that they still want to be this old traditional way. Listen, look at the climate that's happening in gaming. The numbers don't lie. You're just going to say, well, Mega, look at there's 80 million. Yeah. And Sony is telling you we're going to be putting more games on other platforms. You guys told us that PlayStation doesn't need to put games on PC. Well, PC got the whole slate. All those games that PlayStation that they're going to have, yeah, they're delayed, but they're all coming on PC. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like this, you guys say y'all were adamant about it. And here we are. Now y'all don't even talk about PC like, well, you'll talk about PC as though now PC is a second thought. No. That is not. There were people that were saying that they would leave PlayStation and go and become a Nintendo only gamer because of the whole PC thing. So, and this is another thing too that baffles me, that baffles the mind. Okay, so why would the Sony staff have a conference meeting, whatever the hell that thing was, telling you that they're just going to put games on PC when there's games already on PC? What are you talking about? That don't make any sense. Why would they reiterate that they're going to be putting these games on PC when they're already on PC? Or we already know that they're going on PC. Why would they do this? Why would they have this conference stream thing to talk to the PlayStation gamers out there to let people know, well, we're moving away from the model of exclusivity? That doesn't make any sense. They've already moved away from the model. From some of what these PlayStation content creators stance was, especially with Xbox, was that, well, since these games are already on Xbox, on PlayStation, on PC, then they lost exclusivity. But PlayStation still keeps exclusivity? What? Because the games don't come to Xbox or Nintendo? Well, even with that argument, it's dead. Because there's already PlayStation games that are on Xbox and on PlayStation, on Nintendo. And again, the whole slate's on PC. So I understand for the gaming community that are wrapped up into the old ways that it bothers them, because I've seen how it affected the Xbox community. But see, this is the difference. PlayStation gamers are not going to leave PlayStation like that. There'll be some that'll just say, look, I'll just go ahead and get a PC or whatever the case may be. But they're still going to be PlayStation gamers. what was embarrassing was seeing so many Xbox gamers that was, or I would just say not gamers, a whole bunch of Xbox gamers. I would just say a lot of content creators and a lot of, that falls into this whole console war bullshit as the standard of what is supposed to be acquired of these companies. What's supposed to be acquired of these companies is giving value and also bringing great content. If that content, listen, I didn't like I've said before, I didn't like it. I didn't like the news, but it's not. But I've made it clear I'm not going anywhere. I'm an Xbox guy. That's it. I'm playing my Xbox. That's exactly where I'm going to be. I'm going to, when the new Xbox drop, I'm copping that. And I'm going to be on my PC. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Something's got to give. And PlayStation is the console that it's not for me anymore. But I still support PlayStation. And the PlayStation staff knows this, because when these consoles come out, and you've heard me say this numerous times, but I'm going to, for the people that keep listening to me, I'm going to repeat it, and I'm going to keep repeating it. They're pricing out gamers now. The stats are out where 18 to 25-year-old young men are not buying video games or consoles on the same level as they have been in years past, in decades past. You know why? Because they're pricing out. You keep raising the prices of the games. You keep raising the prices of the consoles. You're not lowering the prices of the consoles. Jobs are not the jobs are kind of scarce for a lot of young people, especially these kids that go into college and earn their right to get a proper job for going and educating themselves. A lot of these kids is in a position to where they feel like they're getting railroaded for wanting to be smart and educate themselves. And it's crazy because the job market has gotten so crazy that even older people in my age range, the Gen X, the boomers, they're still fighting for jobs because they're getting let go and laid off right before retirement. It's crazy. So you're telling me that these kids out here that's over here like, man, I can't wait to get a console. But hell, if they ain't got the money to buy a console, or they ain't got the money to buy all these multiple games like that, there's only one option for the gaming community that cares about gaming. They're only going to get one console, maybe two at the max. They'll probably go one console and a PC, or they'll just go strictly PC. And so PlayStation is seeing this. Xbox seen this a long time ago. Nintendo don't have to see it right now, but eventually they will, because again, Nintendo doesn't want to lose out on money. Nintendo's movement is so different. Like they're selling a product at incredible prices that's got the power of an Xbox One. Bro, they're just doing things different. They are being rewarded for giving you lesser hardware and charging you more for games that, yes, they look great. Nintendo is fantastic on what they do with making games, but remember, let's say, I know the Donkey Kong game is looked at as a Game of the Year nominee. Great. But if this was an Xbox game on the Xbox Series X, what do you think people would be saying? They would say it's still a good game. Oh, but that's that cartoon kitty shit. That ain't a banger. That's too kitty. Xbox is bringing the kitty game. Show the true power of the console. Nintendo is getting away with just doing the bare minimum and charging you maximum price. They're charging you the same prices of damn near. I mean, now I know that the Series X and the PlayStation is more expensive, but they're in a normal world, the PlayStation 5 and the Series X would already be would be costing less than the Nintendo Switch 2. What are we doing here? So I mean, it's nuts, man. It's nuts. I don't know. I think that gamers just have to get over it. PlayStation is doing what it needs to do. The game is different. People, you know what I'm saying? Gamers aren't buying these PlayStation games like they were last gen. They're not buying the Xbox games like they did last gen. Services is important. It is services are important. They're going to be even more important going forward. And gamers are being choosy right now. Gamers are being choosy because there's a lot of factors behind it. There's games that we anticipate that we're excited about, and then those games come out to be broken or busted or not complete. We got to wait for patches for the game to be up to par. Then there's other games out there. There's it's dissync issues. There's cheaters everywhere. There's all that they care more about these other factors than what gamers are expecting. But then yet you want to keep charging more money. It's not, gamers are not just, they're not falling for it like that anymore. That's why I've said it was the biggest mistake to raise these prices of these games. $60 isn't, and I mean, you're looking at, some companies bringing it back. I mean, like Outer Worlds 2, I can't wait to play that game. But for $80, nah, man, nah, no. If you're talking to me about, and maybe it will come down to the level of game for the price. Now, we've talked about this before about Grand Theft Auto 6 and the rumors about they were going to charge $100 or whatever. I do not think that the game's going to be $100. I think the game's going to be $80. But what is your cutoff line, gamers, on, and I should have asked that question in the poll, but what is your cutoff line for, quality game? Like, for instance, let's say, okay, for Madden 70, right? Well, Madden's still selling well. But most people who play Madden, they put in a lot of hours in those games, especially if they play online a lot, or if they're just excited about the franchise mode, stuff like that. Same with college. You're going to put a lot of hours. I put a ton of hours already into college football. Call of Duty, stuff like that, $70. I put more time in this Call of Duty than I had since Advanced Warfare. The next Battlefield, I'll be putting a lot more work into Battlefield than I did Battlefield 2042, which was a waste of money for me because of everything that was wrong with it. When you look at a game that's going to be $80, like Grand Theft Auto 6, I'm not buying it at $80. I'm making sure that I'm going to find a loophole where I'm paying around 60, if not less. If I got enough reward points, then I'm going to get it for most likely around $60 or less, because that's usually how I work it. Or if I find a deal somewhere, if I want to get the PC version and I find a deal there. But you're looking at a game like that, like for me, I love Tekken. Would I pay $80 for Tekken? No, I'll buy it. I'll get it, but I'm going to get it for cheaper. And nigga said, I only play Madden that's on Game Pass. My backlog of games can carry me to February when Madden comes to Game Pass. And there's some games like that, but I'm different. I play my sports game. I like my sports games. Like, 2K, for the very first time, I did not buy day one last year. I was kind of over it. Like, I'm like, 2K is not being 2K to me. And I'm like, I'm skeptical on this 2K. Last year, and so I bought it. I bought it on a Black Friday deal, which was like $30 some bucks. And so I was just like, okay, all right, I'm cool with that. And then I played so little of that game. I can't say I didn't like it. I just it wasn't for me. In a sense, I mean, there's a difference for me not liking a game, because then the game wasn't awfully bad, but it wasn't 2K for what I knew 2K has been, and it just lost me, and I lost interest in it. That's more so of what 2K25 was for me. Now I'm excited about this 2K26, but of course it's also, my team won the championship, so I'm also really happy about that. And also, there's a lot of promise to it or things like that. But I mean, mostly I'm going to get 2K day one because of the fact that Shay's on the cover. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm rep. You know me. I rep. So it is what it is. It's just like with when the Rams won the Super Bowl. Yeah, that Madden edition is mine. I got to copy it. Like if the Padres win a World Series, I'm going. And the Padres is balling. They low key like they're trying to catch them damn Dodgers. The Dodgers were slipping, but the Padres, you know what I'm saying. But the Padres they're there. They've been recognized now. They're dangerous. But it's all just gonna come down to the postseason. So you know what I'm saying, and they most likely got to deal with them Dodgers. So but we'll see. But if the Padres, I'm buying MLB the Ultimate Edition. You know, it's just what it is. Like you know, in hockey, I'm a Penguins fan. So you know, you know what I'm saying, but you know, Penguins aren't the same as they used to be. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like I just, you know, and just I love sports games. I love racers. I love fighters. I love RPGs. I'm an anomaly. Those type of things should not. You know, there's not a lot of gamers that's like they're out there like that. But you know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, like they like their certain genres, and then that's kind of it. You know, but like you know, I don't know. It's just different. So so yeah, no, I'm not mad at anybody that goes and plays Madden or college or NBA 2K on wait for Game Pass or whatever. And that's another thing too is that like there's people that keeps trying to demean Game Pass to make it sound like because people want value that it isn't a benefit to that game. If it wasn't a benefit, then 2K or EA wouldn't be putting those games on Game Pass because they know that there's going to be people like you, Negan, that's out there that's saying, "Look, listen, Negan, I would buy the Angel Reese cover. I like Angel Reese. You know what I'm saying? I mean, pretty young girl. You know what I'm saying? Pretty young tender. But no, I you know what I'm saying? But no, I mean I'm not getting the Carmelo edition. I don't want Carmelo. I know that he once played for the Thunder, but I want Shea on my cover. I'm buying the hard copy, and I'm gonna make sure that I got it ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I could have that just like I got Kevin Durant on I got the Kevin Durant, then I also have the NBA Live with Russell Westbrook. So yeah, no. I got my Thunder on there, bro. Ain't no way. But no, Angel Reese. I ain't got no problem with Angel Reese. But that's not the edition I'm getting. I'm getting the edition with Shea on the cover. So anyway, that man said I'm going to buy the Angel Reese edition. You stupid because she on the cover. But I know I don't know, man. Like I just think that it's in all honesty, going back to the original topic, is that gaming has changed so much that we have to look at it in a realistic light. And like I said, the price in gaming, everything is more expensive. And the tariffs ain't even truly kicked in. They're over here paying for the tariff. A lot of these companies are paying for these tariffs right now. And it ain't really kicked in yet. So I have no idea. I know that there was a deal that was made with AMD and NVIDIA with the White House sometime earlier this, what was it, last week? I think it was last weekend, something like that. That's fine and all good, but still not stopping the tariffs when they really kick in. So I don't, and these companies is going to use that as pricing, you know, making you spend more money. So it is a crazy time here. So PlayStation knows this. They see that they got to keep up because Xbox is rolling. Xbox is rolling. And if Xbox keeps pumping these games out like they are, and they've had really more quality games than PlayStation had this year, easily. There'll be somebody that'll tell you, well, Death Stranding's this, that, and the third. Well, Death Stranding's coming to Xbox. Everybody knows that. Ghost of Tsushima is going to go to Ghost of Yotei is going to come to PC, but Xbox is got games that can contend for being game of the year. So it's a weird thing. It's whatever. I don't know, but well, it's not weird. It's just logical. Just logic. Yeah, Negan said that's wild that OKC has had more cover athletes on basketball games. James Harden could never have never been on the cover if he not left. No, he would have been on the cover. He would have been on the cover because they will eventually got rid of Ibaka. Um, and he would have been on the starting lineup and he would have balled out and it would have he would have said and what they would have had is probably all three of them on there because I eventually feel that the Thunder could have won a championship with those three on there, with those three. But who knows? I mean, like and you could be right. I don't think so. I think Harden balled out that much to where, but it's like what they've said. Like other players was trying to coerce him to leave the Thunder because they were scared of what the Thunder was becoming. And they talked hard into saying you should get your own team, and then that's how that whole thing got started, where he wanted more money, and it was only like a $4 million difference. And so, like Harden said that it was the principle, and I get it, get your bread. So it is what it is, right? I don't know, but I still think that he could have been on a cover, especially like the NBA Live cover, something like that. He would have been on the cover. I'm sorry, he would have been on the NBA Live cover as a Thunder player. I mean, it's just no different than Westbrook. You know what I mean? So, on the cover. So, I mean, because Durant was on the cover of a couple of years before Westbrook was. So, on 2K. So, and 2K and 2K had Harden on the cover as well because that's when they had the cover with Harden, Anthony Davis, and was it Kevin Durant? Oh, it was somebody else on the cover. I got that cover, but it's in the closet somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but yeah, yeah. So anyway, what up with you, Michael Turner? Sitting here talking about this PlayStation situation and how the multi-plat game is here, and I can't wait for it. It's a good move from Sony. It's smart. They see that they're already seeing the benefits of what's happening with the Xbox, and it's not even a matter of like really the gamers that I wouldn't say non-gamers, but the people who don't pay attention to this stuff like we do, they don't care. All they want is just access to play these games. If they can play it on the PlayStation, they can. If they want to play it on the Xbox, they can. It's just that a lot of people, like I said, they're not going to be buying multiple consoles like that, and these companies know that now. And Xbox is getting more and more games that normally we would not ever see them get. So they're making the right moves in a lot of ways. Like regardless of what people think about the sales numbers or whatever about the Series X and X and the one thing like I will always agree with people on the negative about Xbox is their advertising. Their advertising is ass, but they advertise controllers more than they advertise certain games and things of that nature. But and they should be advertising the hell out of Game Pass a lot more. It's still crazy to see in 2025 that there's people that didn't even know about Game Pass. Like there'll be people, oh man, what's this Game Pass stuff? Like they just get it in passing, and it's like if PlayStation had Game Pass, we would see commercials and ads and everything. On top of that, the gaming media talking about Game Pass in a positive light compared to always asking the question, is it hurting gaming? Is it hurting the developers? So forth and so forth. We'd be getting a whole different of approach of how Game Pass would be if it was PlayStation's way, because you don't get the same type of vibe with PlayStation with the PlayStation streaming service. You just don't get that same type of vibe. They kind of don't really talk about it, or they'll just talk about the games that's coming, and then that's it. They don't ever ask the question, is PlayStation's gaming service hurting the developers? It's kind of crazy. So, KD was on 15 and Harden was on 16, but in Houston unis, 2K could have go to back Thunder players. No, they couldn't go back to Thunder back to back. But I mean, Harden was already gone. So, but that's what I'm saying. Harden Harden would have been okay. Harden would have got if he stayed with the Thunder, he would have got on a cover. There's no question in my mind. He would have got on the cover. He would have been on a multi-cover. He would have a multiplayer cover, but he would have been on the cover of something. And I still think he would have been on the cover of NBA Live. I mean EA Live. I mean NBA Live. Like he was even if he wasn't with the Rockets. So, but that's neither here nor there because I think that Harden was already set. Like I think that Westbrook would have conceded some more to let him cook because he would have been on the starting lineup. And the way Harden was out there just balling, it would have been a whole different vibe. And I think Westbrook would have already started that whole triple double thing if Harden stayed, because that would have been a nasty triple trio, I should say. That would have been a nasty trio, boy. Man, what could have been? But it all happened to now where we're here, and now we have a new trio, and we're gonna see what these boys have done. They already have done. They've already gotten to the mountaintop. Now they're the hunted, and we'll see how they'll play this year. I'm excited. I'm really excited. So anyway, but all right, my last point on this, and then I'm going to get ready to get out of here, is what? And let me go back to before, because I was asking that question before I heard that crazy ass noise, that crashing noise before I got up. What is the gaming? What is your limit? What is your limited price on games? So like I'm just saying, like with Grand Theft Auto 6, the whole rumors about them being $100. Like I said, I don't think it will happen. But would you pay $100 for Grand Theft Auto 6? What would be the max you would pay for a Madden? What would be the max you pay for a Witcher 4? What would be your max for another Cyberpunk? What would be your match for Call of Duty? Stuff like that. It would be insane to, like, for instance, like a game like Mind's Eye, which I actually enjoyed playing for what I played for Mind's Eye. I played a few hours of it. I showed gameplay of it. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's not as bad as they were making it out to seem. Now, again, like I've had a few hours into it. Is it perfect? No, but is it like just god awful, just the worst game that I've ever played, and it deserves 1 and 2s and 3s? And no, it's not that bad from what I played. That was crazy for asking for $70 for something like that. Like, new IP should always look to be affordable. $50, 60 at the max if it's a bigger title. If a bigger title. But if you're in that $50 range and below, I think that's really appropriate. But for sequels that are hits, like, I don't know. I mean, I would look at Outer Wilds. I said Outer Wild. Whatever. Borderlands. Let me take it right. Let me say Borderlands 4. Borderlands 4. $80. No way. Now, you got a lot of content. You get a lot of content with Borderlands. Now, see, this is a thing too, and like there's all different types of scenarios that could work for that $80 price. I mean, for one, I need Play Anywhere. For two, I need to have some of those DLCs included into that, like 1 or 2. Not all of them, of course, not for 80. You know what I'm saying? But I need Play Anywhere, and I need at least one of your big DLCs for $80. I think that's fair. Now, if you do the regular $70, whatever, okay. 60 is the ultimate great price. That for 60 playing a Borderlands game, I think that's beautiful. For those ultimate editions or whatever, like, I mean, I'll get ultimate editions. long as you get all the DLC and you get Play Anywhere, I think that that's fine. Um, but you're talking about a standard game, bro, man. Like for $90, like for what Nintendo was charging for the hard copy, that's crazy. That's nuts. I mean, digital's supposed to be less. That's the thing. Like that's what you get from the PC market. And so to me is when you look at the console market and they're having digital prices that they'll have some numerous sales, which is great. But when they have this, but when those prices go back up, like damn, it should depreciate a little bit more than what they asked for. But I mean, I guess they're just trying to get somebody slipping or whatever. I don't know. You said Negan for you. You said 60 max for everything, but GTA 6 or Elder Scrolls 6. I 60 should be max. I think. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to go back down to 60. I know that there's some people that think that that the industry would go back down to 60. I just don't. I think now since they're already there at 70, it's just there. Elder Scrolls 6 and GTA 6, they could definitely get away with it. Now, because I mean, we're talking about, these are some massive games that you're gonna be putting a lot of hours into. But see, then again, okay, so if let's just say hypothetically, the GTA 6 is gonna charge us $90 for the game, $90 to $100 for the game, for the standard game. Well, then the online should definitely be included with their DLC perks that they have for the online. Also, all those cards and stuff, like you should get a insane amount of those cards that you use in Grand Theft Auto 5. Like there has to be some serious value, not just because the game is looking prettier and it's gonna, I'm saying, it's more modern for $100. Hell no, ain't no way. There has to be more incentive with that. Like that's why I say like Play Anywhere makes a lot of sense. But again, Play Anywhere is an Xbox thing. You would want to have Play Anywhere even for PlayStation gamers, and also for PC gamers as well. But again, that's not going to happen. So yeah, and I know that those games are going to be really big. The Elder Scrolls 6 and things like that. Those games are just massive. But there has to be a little bit more for me. So I don't know, but I don't know. It's a very interesting topic. I mean, it'll be something maybe we'll talk about on GRG Friday. Hear their thoughts about it, because I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. I think when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, I think that's when we're really going to find out what pricing is going to be for games. Because if it comes out and just be $70 for the regular version, okay, I think we're safe for a little. I think we're safe for a while. But if Grand Theft Auto really tries to push it, really try to do it, I think we're going to be in for an up and down ride when it comes to these games, man. It's going to be really interesting to see. So I know that Nintendo's is testing it. Xbox did try to test it, and then Xbox backed off because of for trying to have a game be $80, like which was silly. Even though I know I love the first game, but yeah, no. To me, you're hurting your sales tremendously with those type of prices. And then also, like, I mean, I know that there's been a lot of, I've seen some reports last night that like the mobile games, the AAA mobile games aren't selling very well, like Final Fantasy 16 and what was it? Resident Evil 4 remake only sold like 7,000 copies on the phone, on like the iPhone and Android, which that makes a lot of sense. Like that's why I think the handhelds are much more is in a better place. I mean, I know that these phones has got a lot of technology and power, but it still would be very difficult to play those type of games on your phone. Unless you used to have like one of those, like I still have my Note 5. But like if you got really massive screens like that might could nullify a little bit. But these phones today, like, I mean, it's a good size. This phone I got right here is a good size, but but to try to sit here and play a game like that, like it does not enjoyable to me, especially, I don't know, like I don't know, I just don't know, I don't know. It's not, I don't find that to be pleasurable, a pleasurable game experience. So, um, I don't know. I don't know. And then those games, I don't know how much those games cost. I think those games still cost 60, 70 bucks maybe. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure now those games have been out for a couple of years. They're cheaper than that, but those sales are abysmal for especially how many people that are out there. K Mega Mafia Old Country dropped at 50. Eventually, publisher will have to reduce the price to draw sales. Only a few get away with 7. That's exactly what I'm hoping and anticipating, is that these publishers out here start understanding that, listen, I might want this game, but I'll just hold off. I'm not trying to sit here and break the bank for just one game when I can wait for a sale, and I could probably have multiple games that's waiting for me, for my disposal. Because again, us hardcore gamers have huge libraries, and we have a massive backlog. Massive. Like I got so many games that I got to go back and I got to beat. So it's like, hey, you know what? Like I feel what you were saying about waiting out Madden and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not like I want my Madden and stuff like that day one, but but I'm not mad for anybody that thinks that way. I think that it's just smart to just look for the value, because those games aren't going to go anywhere. And if they do go somewhere, then you saved money. Because if those games crash, if those games the servers mess up, or this, that, and the third, then you saved money, and you saved yourself from taking the L, from being a day one adopter, and then knowing that you can't get that money back. So yeah, there's only a few games that can get away with it, but yeah, like the Mafia Old Country, I'm interested in wanting to give it a try, and the price is reasonable. But I went ahead and I picked up Demon Souls. I'm sorry, Demon Slayer. So instead, but I'll find myself picking up that Old Country at some point for sure. So. Anyway, but thank you guys, man. I know this is a little, really, there's some things to talk about, not a lot, but it's kind of to me, it's kind of slow week of gaming news. It's stuff we kind of already know. PlayStation about to bend the knee to the exclusive off the exclusive to the multiplayer front. Let it happen. Battlefield 6 was a sensation. I'm very happy that the game got a lot of attention, like it did. And it looks like it's got a lot of promise, a lot of potential. I hope that when it launches correctly. And then like for, we got some great content that's going to be dropping, coming from the Helldivers 2, Black Myth Wukong. We'll see if gamers are going to support, Xbox gamers are going to support it. I hope they do, but I understand if they don't. And then they're going to have Helldivers 2 that's going to be dropping in, and they're going to be doing some kind of collaboration with Halo. I think that's going to be slick. So if there's a Helldivers collaboration with the next Halo that's going to be dropping, that or with Halo Infinite, if that's part of their last update or whatever, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Like the more the better for these crossover things. So anyway, guys, I appreciate it. I hope you guys, if you have liked the content, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I might stream something tonight. If not, I will definitely stream Thursday. We'll definitely play some fighters. We'll play some fighters, but I need to get this Madden popping off. So if I stream, I'm going to be playing some Madden tonight. And I will also we also have GRG this week. So come check us out then, and then back to fight night. Or I really did have fun streaming the shooter, streaming Call of Duty and stuff like that. So if you like that type of content, man, just let me know and I'll do that. I'm trying to get it to where I can do more streaming and things of that nature. It's just if I got the time, because I got other things I need to do. But if you like that type of content, I'll just let me know and I'll do more of it. So, but thank you, man. Appreciate it, Stanley. Appreciate it as always. Thank you guys for coming through. Everybody have a blessed one. if like I said, if I'm streaming tonight, I'll definitely be streaming some Madden. So get ready for that. So all right, guys, peace.